Last lesson in Unit L, L15, domain and range of polynomials. I know, it's not fun, is it? So, domain. Does anybody remember what domain is? Domain is talking about your x's. It's going left and right. Okay? It's whatever numbers you can put into the equation and be able to do the equation. Now, if it's a polynomial, and we really haven't went over what a polynomial is, but everything's basically a polynomial, and it's going to be a polynomial in this lesson, at least, because it says polynomials, you can put any number into the x in any of these problems and be able to do it. So if you can put any number in, you can put any negative number, you can put any positive number, then your domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. This number right here is the smallest number that you can put in, so you can put in any negative number, and this number right here is the biggest number that you can put in. So that would be, goodness, I kind of lost it. Any positive number you can put into the domain. Notice the domain is always going to be from negative infinity to positive infinity, which means all real numbers, which means that you can put any number in the problem and be able to do it. Okay? Now, let me skip the first two and go on to the last one. If your arrows are going in opposite directions, just a second, okay, we're looking at graphs. All right, awesome. That makes it even easier. If your arrows are going in opposite directions, your range is also negative infinity to positive infinity. I'll explain that better in a minute. If your arrows are both going up or both going down, it is not going to be negative infinity to infinity. And I will explain that better in just a minute, but that kind of gives you a guideline of what's going on. So let's look at the first graph. Okay. Both arrows are going up. What's the domain? The domain is negative infinity to infinity because I already told you that that's always going to be used. And yes, there's another one right here. You can use either one, just scroll it into that box and be done with the domain. Now, the range. I didn't really actually explain what a range is. The range is what your y's are. Once you put your x into the problem, what kind of answers are you going to get out? Okay? So sometimes you don't get a number whenever you plug a number in. So that's what's happening here. If your parabola is going up, that means that you have a minimum. And your minimum, this minimum is at 3, negative 5. See the x's, they keep on going out and they go out, so you can put any x in. But the y's, it's going up, but it doesn't go below this line, right? So what's the lowest that your y can be? Negative 5. And what the bracket means is it can equal negative 5. So if negative 5 is the lowest, it can be anything bigger than negative 5. So it would be going to infinity because that's what the arrows means, is going up and up and up and up and up. Okay, so that's your domain and that's your range. Okay, your arrow's going up, your arrow's going down, which means that it's a cubic or an odd polynomial. And if that's the case, you can put anything in. If you do, you're going to get anything out, because as it goes up, it's going to the left. As it's going down, it's slowly going to the right. And so it can use any number and get any number. Okay? Parabola, opening down. If it's opening down, it has a maximum, which means the most that it could be. And this is at 3, 5. The 3 doesn't matter. I'm really looking at the 5 because the 5 is on the y-axis. So your domain is negative infinity to infinity. Now, if 5 is your maximum, it can't get any higher than 5. But it can get lower than 5 because the errors are going down. So the lowest number that it can get to is negative infinity, but the highest number is positive 5. Okay? It's an even polynomial because they're both going in the same direction. They're both going up. Your domain is negative infinity to infinity. Your minimum, I know that that looks like it's a minimum because it goes, down and then up and stuff. But this is really where your minimum is at 6, negative 1. Don't really care about the 6, just negative 1. The lowest it can get is negative 1, so the smallest number it can be is negative 1. So it's going to start at negative 1 and it's going to go up, up, up.